Good morning. Hello, everyone. It is my great pleasure to be here on the Third International Conference on Religion and Social Processes in our part of Europe. Today, we'll start with the program as shared. But first, may I invite our colleague, Dr. Dusan Pavlovic, in his capacity as the Director General of the Center for Socio-Political Research in Banja Luka, to welcome us as a host. He is been working in this field for decades, specifically theology and religion. His main concern is to research this area to understand what happened during the Second World War, what happened during the most recent war, and how to understand those processes and how to turn to lasting peace. So let me invite him to take the floor and to wish a good morning to everyone. Thank you, Professor. Dear ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good day. May I welcome you on behalf of the co-organizer and as the host, the Center for Socio-Political Research of the Republic of Srpska. I'd like first to welcome our host here, the Academy of Arts and Science of the Republic of Srpska, the President of the Academy. Thank you very much for the conditions that you have secured us, making it possible for us to do this important job. I'd also like to thank the representatives of the Office of the President of the Republic of Serbia, Consul, Mr. Vukotic, and also on behalf of the Banja Luka Diocese. And also like to thank the Diocese of Banja Luka, Islamic community. Representatives of the Jewish community were unable to attend, but I think they'll join us in the course of the day or tomorrow during the session. As has been said, this international conference is organized in Banja Luka this time. This is the third conference, and the title is Religion and Social Processes in Southeastern Europe. Unfortunately, all of us are well aware of how needed authentic religion is, or authentic faith for peace and prosperity in this region, and how tragic any abuse or instrumentalization of religion and faith can be. So we in this region know this very well. I'll take up a couple of more minutes from your time to share with you something as a theologist, but also someone who wishes everyone to come back to the authentic religion, as Monsignor Hocevar said at the press conference. For a number of years, I was at the I was the head of the Institute for Missing Persons, so we looked for missing persons, those who went missing during the war here. And being in that capacity, I encountered many difficult situations, and I called myself being happy for having found a mass grave, you see. And then you start asking yourself whether it is quite normal. And then, the answer is yes, actually, because I know that some mothers, sisters, parents, children would be able to find the closest ones they have been looking for decades and bury them in their religion. On the other hand, when you find yourself standing on top of a mass grave with skeletons of 20, 30 persons, and when you see skeletons of children or women, as a man who tries to have a comprehensive look at life, and as someone who's religious, after a number of cases and after so many years of work, you realize that it is quite irrelevant who the victim is and who the perpetrator is. Because you understand that in the long run, metaphysically, religiously, the benefits and proceeds from those events go to the ultimate evil, however we understand it, from any perspective, philosophical, religious, theological. And I can say, on my personal behalf, that we who belong to the Abraham tradition, biblical tradition, then you actually realize that our enemies are not of flesh and blood, but demons under the arc of sky. This is something that Monsignor Hochevan actually mentioned during the press conference. So we are here to open dialogue, to strengthen the dialogue, to try to understand each other, and then to relay to others what we deem important, the conclusions, that is. Unfortunately, it is necessary nowadays here, as was necessary in the decades that are past now. And this conference is, for this purpose, very important. I'd like to thank all of you who are here, and I'd like to thank the speakers, but also all participants. Thank you very much. I'd like to give the floor to Professor Dr. Bogdan Vukosaljevich from the Institute of Geopolitical Studies, Ljubljana, who's the primary organizer of the three events we've had so far. Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Professor Dr. Peter Aspera, a great fellow and researcher. I need to say that he's the only person I am aware of that has left a deep trace in the academic community. The fact is that one bacteria is called Rasporella, and he kindly accepted to coordinate one of the panels. I personally had to ask him, so he did not introduce himself at the very beginning, so I wanted to introduce him. I'm Bogdan Vukosaljevich. I come from Ljubljana and Romania as well. I teach at the UN University in Belgrade as well. And also the Institute for Geopolitical Studies. In 2022, we talked to Professor Darko Tanaskovic. We wanted to organize a conference. Professor Tanaskovic, unfortunately, will not be able to attend for family reasons today. And he actually named the conference Religion and Social Processes in Southeastern Europe, which is, I think, more than appropriate. Since the first conference was held at the ceremonial hall of the Presidential Hall of the University of Belgrade, and some of today's speakers attended that conference as well, such as Dr. Sejid Halilovic from the Center for Religious Studies, come from Belgrade, who's here with us today. And then the conference was quite interactive, and which was expressed that this conference should become traditional. And then last year in Belgrade, in November, we organized the conference again, which was quite successful. And finally, we agreed that the third conference should be held somewhere else in the regions, not just Belgrade. And we agreed that we should be doing it together with the Center for Socio-Political Research, led by my dear friend, Mr. Dusan Pavlovic. So this is the actual implementation of the project as designed. I'm really honored by your presence here, because this will be a great contribution and demonstrate the weight of this conference and academic acceptance and understanding that will stem out from the conclusions and findings of the conference. I will not take up too much of your time because we have other speakers to hear. Just to say that we have our speakers and members of the Institute for Geopolitical Studies of the Aurel Vlaicu University of Arad. The institute was set up last year, and this is our continuation of our cooperation. I do believe that we'll be able to spread our ideas throughout the region. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good morning on behalf of the President of the Republic and the Office of the Republic of Srpska. My family name would mean something. I'm Kaluža. I'm Slovenian. I'm a Luciano Kaluža. I have a Slovenian background. I'd like to thank Dusan very much for his invitation, and we enjoy great cooperation and communication with him. And we always support projects organized by the Center. So far, the office has always been at your disposal and will continue to be at your disposal and support you in whatever way we can and advocate for your activities. I'd also like to highlight what the President very often says in his public statements, and that is that it is most important that we should talk here in the Republic of Srpska and beyond about the processes conducive to peace building across the region, with a focus, of course, on the Republic of Srpska and Bosnia-Herzegovina specifically. I think that it is important that the representatives of different religious communities and other folks of life give their contribution. In any case, the President of the Republic of Srpska will continue supporting these activities, and whoever has an initiative or an activity to be implemented outdoors will remain open. Thank you once again, and good luck.
Ako nastavimo uz pozdrave i sada idemo dalje na Srpsku pravoslavnu crkvu. Dragan Grujić.
Dear conference, dear guests, friends, God be with you. Good morning. May I kindly welcome you on behalf of all of us today. The organizer sent the invitation to the Serbian Patriarch Porfirie, but he was unable to attend. But I convey his blessings and greetings through the Archbishop of Banja Luka, who has blessed this conference. I'm really glad to be here together with my brother in Christ. We are here on behalf of the Patriarch and the Archbishop Jefrem to welcome you, because we believe that these conferences, these talks do have a weight, do have a significance, because we need to discuss everything. I've seen the topics on the program, and they are quite interesting, needed and necessary. And we need to understand that no society, no state, no church should be a ghetto. Quite to the contrary, we need to be open to any dialogue, cooperation, sharing of our views, and comprehending the current issues. And this should be acceptable and well accepted by all those participating. Once again, I convey the blessings of His Highness and the Archbishop today and tomorrow. I wish you good work. Thank you for your kind words. And As far as I can see, we should invite Mr. Karlo Vishatitsky from the Banja Luka diocese. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to relay the greetings of our Archbishop Željko Majić, who stepped into this position here in Banja Luka 2 months ago. He's still assuming his responsibilities, and the invitation letter arrived in the midst of his other responsibilities and prior appointments. So the Archbishop kindly relays his blessings. I taught biblical studies at the faculty of Đakovo. There is a verse in chapter 8. Jesus talks to Jews and says, truth will set you free. We need to work together to understand and comprehend the actual truth. And today, we'll give the floor to our colleagues from Romania. I'd like to invite Professor Dr. Elinana Iancu to take the floor and welcome us.
Honored Presidio, dear participant in the conference, with your consent, I would like to welcome you all to this conference on behalf of the Geopolitical Studies Institutes from the University Aurel Vlaicu of Arad, Romania. I feel a great pleasure and joy to be here together with you at this event hosted by the Academy of Sciences and Arts from Republic of Srpska in this wonderful room of the beautiful and serene city of Banja Luka. I congratulate the institutes that collaborated so well in choosing a relevant and inspiring topic for the conference. Thank you, Professor Bogdan Vukosavljević, for introducing me in this team. I am honored by the collaboration with you, the partnership you established, and the research team you created. I am looking forward to listening to the presentation and to join the discussion. I wish success in starting the works and panels. Thank you very much for attention.
Thank you. And let me call the last welcome words from...
Sada da pozovem i posljednjeg govornika, gospodina iz Centra za geopolitičke studije.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to be with you today at this conference, now in its third edition and being held for the first time in Banja Luka. I also bring you greetings from the rector of University Aurel Vlaicu of Arad, Mr. Teodor Cilan, who sent his best regards. Thank you.
Let me step here. Now we are going officially to start our morning session, thematic part 1, religion, society, and tolerance. And I believe that there is no doubt that the speaker who is going to be the first speaker this morning here about religion, society, and tolerance, Monsignor Stanislav Hočevar, coming from Slovenia, experiencing most of the Middle Europe with his activities during his time, is the proper person to address us and to tell us his view on the issues we are discussing today. Please, Monsignor.
Hvala. Pre svega čestitam inspiratorima ovog događaja.
First of all, I would like to congratulate the initiators of this conference, and I would like to say hello to all of you who are organizing or participating, whether with your speeches or testimonies or experience, or whether all of you who are present here in the expectation of our integral dialogue. I'm here more as a practitioner. All my life I have lived with people, and not in just any manner. Therefore, take all my plain words as fruit of my experience. The gentleman coordinating this said where I come from. I was a child born in 1944, towards the end of the war, which had brought a lot of evil to my family. But what I would like to say is as follows. My mother taught us the following. We should pray every day for the murderers of my father. She said, he is suffering more than us who have been left without a father. So from my family I learned that reconciliation is possible, and that is the only force that can reshape the world. Also, for me, it was very inspiring. As you know, that at that time in Slovenia, those of us who wanted spiritual vocations and callings, it was impossible to complete secondary education, and I had to go to Croatia to do that. And imagine that on the 5th of January 1964, so 60 years ago, I saw in Gethsemane Gardens, I saw hugging the Roman bishop, Holy Father Pope VI, and the Istanbul priest, and that left an indelible mark on my heart. So I always saw in my life that it was possible to seek unity in difference, and that difference is perhaps what can create unity. That is why I'm particularly glad that we are present here today, representatives of churches, confessions. A special greetings to the Archbishop of the local church, His Honour Mr. Bishop of Banja Luka, as well as all other churches or confessions. As a retired Belgrade bishop, where I'd spent 23 years, I examined what it meant to have a dialogue relations with everyone, and I must say that I publicly thank our Lord that I've seen so much cordiality from all citizens of Serbia, and I was surprised that I, as a Catholic priest, and there had been years in the 90s that everyone, all of Orthodox confession, accepted me so nicely, and I needn't be hiding, and I could speak openly my Christmas messages and missives. So whatever I'm saying, I'm not saying this from any personal assumption. This is from experience. Today, Darko Tanaskovic is not here at the conference. We cooperated a lot. He wrote so many introductory words for our books, and it is due to him that a special book was published book of discussions, and what I would like to say is the following. Even though many advised me that I shouldn't go, whether because of my age or retirement, I still felt that my calling was to promote reconciliation and unity. And in that sense, I beg everyone to accept my presence here. Secondly, and it's important to mention it in these days, it is up to us to understand religion authentically. If in the past there have been a lot of misunderstandings, my persuasion is that it is because we did not understand religion authentically enough in all its dimensions. I am aware that along with religion, we always take into consideration the society and Southeast Europe. And that does make sense, because religion ought to inspire the whole society, live in society, instill hope in society, and give its contribution that cannot be given by anyone else. If we speak about Southeast Europe, then we ought to know that Churchill said that history there is so complex and so rich that no one can digest it. And I still think that we can, because we are humans after all, Lord's creations, and we can overcome and view and interpret our history and our present and our future. That is the reason why I'm here. And to spend a second more on religion, it is a power within that connects us with the first, the one who created all life with me. This connection is of extraordinary importance, primarily for me, for a reasoning human being, because that in itself means that I have before me a sense, an objective, an inspiration, strength, and eternity.
The religion should never be understood in our today's quite individualistic sense. We should say that theologies of the past wanted to force us to see religion as something that belongs to us, something that is internal. And that's impossible, because I need to have a purpose, I need to have a meaning, because we are social beings. In the church language, we are ecclesiastical, sacramental beings, because we do have relations with everyone. And for this reason, it is necessary for religion to create, and it should create, trust among all people. And I think that this is the first and foremost task of us who are religious, to simply create this trust, because a society cannot be built, improved, if there is no strength among the population. In addition, religion in and of itself is always inspirational, because we listen to the word of those who instilled life into us. For this reason, religion always inspires us integrally across the horizon. Nothing is excluded from the divine inspiration. exactly because of that, people of the religion should have not our own limited, restricted views, but first of all, we, people of faith, should be inspired by the divine look at the beings, and we know that God had to name every being. We need to look at life internally. That's why it is the Christians of the first millennium were called theoretiki, those actually that have a divine approach to all things. We have distinguished professors here, and we have the highest ranking members of the academia. Without this divine perspective, it is impossible to understand everything properly. But this is not the class of theology. So I'd say that the following is very important, because I do not want to take up too much of your time. So the essence of religion is to be congregational, as our Orthodox brothers say. It connects us, it gathers us into a community. And I'd like to invite other participants and professors to share their views, because I'm not sure whether we discussed this amply, because to be religious, it means being a part of something, being part of my own religion. And you know that the Catholic Church, and I'm a Catholic, the Orthodox Church and the Islamic community have a major task ahead, because a religion necessarily creates a community. What happens now when we belong to different credos, when we belong to different religions? How to promote dialogue internally in myself as a religious being, how to create a dialogue within the community, and then with other religious communities and the entire world, and those who believe that are faithless. So I'm convinced that today this issue is essential for the future of the world, because I feel that the more uncertainty, the more thirsty people are for some kind of security and safety that religion can offer. And today, when we live in this big plural society, how can we live through our religion, through our community, but open-minded and through our dialogue? That's why I sometimes highlight, but I never got an answer to my question, the fact that we need to have clarity. Religion, faith, religious community. When meeting other religious communities and societies, what should the relations look like? How to set up relations that are such that no identity is destroyed, that all of us can talk to each other, and that despite different experiences or views, liturgy, dogmas, we are able to talk to each other. We know that there are different concepts of relations between the religion and society, the church and the state. And in Southeastern Europe, I think in the past it was the key problem. Inasmuch so that the major challenge for us is how to live for the truth, from the truth, and at the same time how to talk to people who have a different truth about life. Allow me to say that the Catholic Church has made a leapfrog in this dialogue. We no longer claim, in that sense, that the truth is the only argument of all of my action, but we clearly talk about the dignity of human beings. Every human being was created by the God. The God is omnipresent in everyone, and even those who are not religious are spiritual beings, transcendental beings, are beings created in the image of God. It's an icon of God, and I should have respect for every human being, irrespective of the fact that they belong to a different religion or not, and we need to respect the dignity of that human beings. And somehow God has granted me with an intuition. I spent some time in Austria, in Argentina, in Canada, Croatia and Serbia, and I always paid due respect. And I do not want to take up too much of your time, but I need to say that an extraordinary experience for me was when I was in my second year in Belgrade. The School of Law, Niš University, organized a discussion about sects. They start spreading once demography is introduced, and then we had an Orthodox student of law, and he told me, "For us, you are no a heretic because you respect us Serbs." I was so surprised, and that was my deepest experience. And I'm speaking quite frankly and openly here. I always see in every man the immense dignity. And there are so many opportunities for discussions, for gathering, for a joint hope. And I believe that in that sense, we in Southeastern Europe should make a step forward and mutually respect each other, cooperate, and have a common hope that all problems can be overcome. And allow me, if I may, quote the Holy Bible. Where were the major problems? So where the God will bestow his blessings to where there are many problems. But this means also that spiritual health is possible, that this health can flower, and the fact that in the past we saw so many schisms, misunderstanding, this makes God create an even better society and harmony. Thank you.